Hello. Hey, what's going on, guys? All right. Just getting myself adjusted here. Leave that there. Hey. Sazabi. Hello. Love your channel with your gunplay reviews. Thank you. Today, let's get right into it. Building the Metal Gear Ray. How's it going, guys? Happy Friday to all of you. Everything looks okay, sounds okay. You can hear me, you can see me, you can see the kit. More importantly, let me make a little adjustment here. Yep, that's the way I want to go. Okay. Hey, it's Friday, and yeah, weekend is upon us. Where'd you get it? Zuda Kai asked. It's just recently been reproduced from Kotobukiya, so pretty much any where that sells Kotobukiya model kits should probably have it. I believe we still have some. Let me check here at USA Gundam Store. I know we still have some down in the warehouse. I'm not sure if they're already sold yet or not. I believe we still have some in stock. Metal Gear Ray. Yeah. Yeah, still in stock. Yeah. So there you go. All right, brothers. Metal Gear. Let's see. So what's going on? Zuda. I am Matchu. First time catching a live stream. I'm excited. Hey, glad you can make it. I've been waiting for this, brothers. Kyle says, let's see. Metal Gear Raymond is my father. What? Is that a reference? I don't get that one, Chris. I'm gonna be building the RG Hainu this weekend. Super excited. Oh, very nice. I'm not sure what, if anything, I'll be building this weekend. Probably not much. As I've kind of talked about before, I usually don't get much time during the weekend to build anything. But that's fine. Can't wait to see the final results. Yeah. What's this month's USA Gundam Store sticker? I am not sure. What is the current sticker right now? I want to say it's the Pale Rider, I think. I'm not sure. If I remember correctly, I think it's the Pale Rider. If you're talking about for July, I'm not sure. The one that I think I've been seeing them using lately is that. Okay. As far as like accessories, we don't really have anything except like if you count like the stand plates there, which kind of needs to stand up, or even option parts. There's not a whole lot to make like the open mouth. There's like some part swapping involved with that, but otherwise it's a pretty straightforward kit. So probably not going to take us all too terribly long to get this guy put together. But let's get into it. We build the body first. Just gonna follow the instructions for now anyway. But if you guys have any other questions or anything you want to know about like this kit in particular, or just anything really, feel free to ask in the comments, in the chat there, I should say. What scale is it? It's 1/100 scale. Yeah. So if you have like other 1/100 scale, anything else really, I mean, you could put it with it if you wanted to make some sort of like diorama or something with it, right? That's everything that we need for the moment. Let me go ahead and get some of these parts here put together. I think this guy goes right here. This part is, well, I'm not even sure what this part is. Part of like the neck, I think, kind of. But yeah, how are you guys doing today? Have any plans for the weekend? So 4th of July coming up here in America. For those of you guys who are in the USA, 4th of July is coming up. Do you guys have 4th of July plans for this weekend, or I'm going to be doing something on the actual day? What's your guys' plans? I'm not doing anything this weekend. related to the 4th anyway. But we're having like a little mini block party, kind of in my neighborhood anyway, on the 4th. So that'd be fun. I'm kind of organizing. All right. Let's see. Anna Studio or ANA Studio. Hello, hello. And hello, Twitch. Yeah, hello. Anybody and everybody who's watching on Twitch as well. Let's see. So we got a few polycaps, as you guys could maybe see there a second ago. We got a fair amount of polycaps here at this one. And see if I can figure out which way this goes in there. Gonna have to pop this in there like that. I think that's in there, right? Kind of a tricky polycap. I think that's in there correctly. Seems like it anyway. See if I can't press it just a little bit more. Yeah, Metal Gear. Can't be. Recently I've been actually I'm not sure what kind of sparked it for me, but maybe it was because I was building the Metal Gear Rex, the Metal Gear Solid 4 version. And let's see, we also need PC C. I was building the Rex recently, and so maybe that's what got me started watching, but I recently had been watching the Metal Gear Solid 4 kind of cutscene movie, right? You can find like videos like on YouTube that basically like edit all the cutscenes and like a little bit of gameplay in between, edit together to like turn the game into like a 9-hour movie, just with all the cutscenes and everything. It seems like every few years I rewatch that. So it was that time again, and recently I have been rewatching Metal Gear Solid 4 on just on YouTube. So that's been fun. I'm like halfway through at the moment, but yeah, because it's so long, it's not something that I can like just put on and finish in a single sitting. But okay, so this goes like here. And okay, that's it. The way, is there going to be something that holds those polycaps in? I'm wondering, because like these polycaps here, I believe are like where the kind of arms are plugged in, and there's nothing behind the polycaps. So like once you push the arms into there, I feel like it's just going to push the polycap right down in there. Okay, no, there is going to be a part later that's going to come in that's going to be behind there, stop the polycaps from just pushing straight into the body, which would be a pain. Later, once we put this piece on here, it's got these parts that are gonna block the polycaps from doing that. That's good. Always so jarring when the holiday is on a Tuesday. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Planning for my mother's birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday to your mom, Derek. And let's see, gonna paint mine Metal Gear Solid 2. Because I like how it looks in Sons of Liberty. Maybe get a tail 3D printed. Yeah, that'd be cool. Also, fun fact that Gundam Pros is having a 23% off sale and not affiliated with them. Just a heads up for the chat. There you go. All right. Next up, these circle bits. Lots of circle bits here with this and lots of little pieces. Is that right? Like that's not correct. Here we go. You'll see some of them here on this part here in just a second. Actually, almost the very next step, you'll see what I mean. So I'll show you. But there you go. All these like kind of little circle details all over the place. So this one here on the top. I never got this kit the first time around. I I think this is just the. Is this the first time that it's been reprinted since it was originally released? I feel like that's probably not true. It's probably been reprinted once before, but what? Where's? Oh, okay, it's the piece. That one there, like that. Wait a minute. Okay. Trying to figure out, like, I put something on here wrong or something. Here it is. Okay. So many of these parts that look kind of similar. It's kind of confusing. But yeah, anyway, I'm not sure if this is just if this is the first time that it's been reprinted since its original release, or maybe it's been reprinted before. But nevertheless, when it had previously been available to me, I had passed on it because I wasn't as interested in it, just because of the fact that it doesn't have a whole lot with the kit, right? It means just the Rex, at least I feel like, had kind of a little bit more going on. It also doesn't have like much accessories or anything really like that, but this one's like a pretty bare bones as far as the kit goes. I mean, you have the Metal Gear Ray, and that's it. So that was kind of why I passed on it originally, but being a fan, I figured. Just dropped the tiny piece, and that's gonna be hard to find. Being a fan, I figured it's getting reprinted. I'll pick one up this time. Oh, whew. Fortunately, it fell like right below me, and that was easy to find. Gotta be careful, especially a tiny little piece like that on my floor is gonna be lost real easily. Need to vacuum my floor, just because if I were to drop any small piece like this, I mean, it's just going to be difficult to find amongst all the little bits of plastic all over the floor. One more little bit of plastic is just going to blend right in. Almost dropped another one. Fortunately, that's the last one, and there we go. So we have these 6 little circle bits that plug into there like that. And we're off to page 2. Well, actually, technically it's page 7. And we need polycaps J and J. All right. Yeah, it's very detailed. The kit in general, and the Rex is the same. So yeah, I know that these kits are a little bit expensive, but I mean, they're super detailed. And if you take the time to paint them, or at the very least do like some panel lining and a little bit of weathering or something like that, and it's gonna look that much better. They're going to be really, really nice looking kits. If you're a Metal Gear fan, really can't recommend them enough. The price can be a bit hard to swallow, but they're definitely really nice. Now, this piece here, kind of funky how this one goes on. Put it on this way and then turn it to lock it into place. And then this piece goes on the top of there. So this can kind of slide forward and back slightly, like that. Honestly, panel line and top coat makes any kit look better. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, touche. That is true. Hey there, Eric. I don't need sleep. I need to watch this live. There you go. Speaking of sleep, while I was working on a different kit earlier this morning, I had a sleepaway camp on. Speaking of things that I kind of rewatch every couple of years, Sleepaway Camp is one of those movies I feel like every couple years or so. I'm ready to rewatch it. In this case, not really so much watch it as, like I said, I just kind of had it on the background while I was working on another kit. But have you guys seen it? Are you fans? What do you think about it? Any Sleepaway Camp fans? Sort of a cult classic kind of horror movie. Very cheesy, but really good. Let's see, how does this go in here? Oh, okay, like that. It's like that, and every time, like after watching the first Sleepaway Camp, even though they like progressively get less good and more cheesy, like after watching the first one, then I feel inclined to then watch the second and third one as well after that. Slidey, Locky, looks like a paint finish scratch factory. If you paint, that is, yeah, Jeff. It kind of would be. It's not like the tolerance is not so tight that it would scratch the paint. I mean, it's a pretty kind of loose fit, so your paint would probably be okay. This part's kind of funky though. I just want to make sure that I got this on there properly. The way that these fit, it seems like they should kind of overlap in a little different way there, but there we go. This part's like kind of for the underside of the belly armor sections, kind of there. All right. Let's see. Have a great weekend and stay fly. Thank you, Zero. You too. Yeah. Maru, what's up? Hope the build is going great. Oh, yeah, great so far. That's all we got going at the moment, but we're getting there. And let's see. But I'm a Cheerleader is my favorite cult movie. I'm not sure I've ever even heard of that, but I guess that makes it a good cult movie. Favorite non-Gundam mecha retro anime? Oh, I don't know. I was talking about this, I think, on the last live stream with Adam on the USA Gundam TV channel. That I think in recent years I've gained more of an appreciation for some like retro mecha anime like Dogram and Votoms and stuff. Just I think a lot of that is primarily due to as I've gotten more interested in Machine Krieger, because it's kind of a sort of similarly retro sci-fi kind of vibe to it, right? Especially when it comes to the models. So probably among those, I don't know, Votoms or sorry, Dogram, at least like the Dogram itself, I really like the design of now. Like some of the other like designs from that series are like still pretty funky and like still haven't quite grown on me too much. Whereas with Votoms, I mean, there's a lot of really cool different Votoms designs. And what else? I feel like there's something else too that I'm like forgetting that's escaping me at the moment, but like those are also two pretty like well-known, pretty mainstream ones. Not nothing too like super unique there, I guess. All right, this one. It's another kind of loose bit where you put it on sideways and then turn it to lock it into place. It's not like a sliding part though. I guess it's just to help the articulation of this part, I suppose. Kind of makes it a bit weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just have it just on like a little ball joint or something like that. The whole aspect of that kind of locking onto there seems a bit unnecessary, but cool trick, I guess, Kotobukiya. There's this little circle bit, which I feel like I missed somewhere, but let me see. I'll have to do a quick scan over the instructions, make sure I didn't miss something. Just do these parts here first. Put that there, and then okay, this It's kind of funky. Fits up inside of there. So this is going to slide. So yeah, it's all kind of making this in a way so that these parts can all kind of slide apart once they're connected, which is pretty cool. I'll say that's certainly very interesting. This part as well. Let's see. I gotta put these parts on the side first. How? Gaugagar, yeah, Dougram got it, yeah. Metal Gear, it can't be. Yes. Then they're visiting a lot of designs like ideas from Dougram and Leisner. Hello, Wholesome Carrot. Ray. Hey guys. Have you built any Figurized Kamen Rider recently? No, not recently and not ever. Sorry to say. Just not something that really appeals to me. Maybe something in the future will make me gain more of an appreciation for that as well. But so far, not yet. Sorry to say. So this, that's not really plugged in anything. Okay, just kind of fits into there like that. So that, we pop this into here. And then, so yeah, these kind of sections of armor here on the back, when this is moved, these kind of separate all like that. This one is kind of like three sort of main sections there that kind of move. It's kind of interesting. It sounds rattly, which I don't like, but I think this little bit here, which I thought was maybe a part that I forgot, I think that's a part of the leg, one of the legs. So we'll come back to that. Let me just double check, look over this, make sure I didn't miss a little piece. No, I don't think so. It's part of the leg. All right, moving on then. We've got the head, which is these parts here. All right. It would be cool to make a diorama from the MG Rex fighting MG Ray. Yeah, not MG. Oh, I guess if you even mean Metal Gear. I was reading that as like MG as like Master Grade, but I assume you mean Metal Gear, right? I was gonna say not technically a Master Grade, even though it is 1/100 scale. It's not Gundam, and it's not from Bandai. I guess it's also true that not all Master Grades are necessarily Gundams either. But yeah, okay. Anyway, okay. Head. We've got these two pieces which go together. Not necessarily retro, but Full Metal Panic has some cool mecha designs. Yeah, I don't know when that came out, but it's like 2000s, right? Or even later into the 2010s. When did Full Metal Panic come out? Retro at this point would be like anything like mid 90s and back, but I mean, I don't know, some people will probably have different definitions for that. But as far as like, I don't know, it seems like when people talk about like retro anime, retro sci-fi, anime, I mean, like mecha anime and stuff like that, seems like people are talking like 80s, mid 90s back. Full Metal Panic is like early 2000s, yeah, so that's about what I would have expected for that. All right, E10, this tiny little piece here, which, how's that gonna fit in there? Let's see. Well, just like this. Uh-oh. Very carefully. Now this is like the inside of the cannon part, inside the mouth that we're building right here. Very interesting way that that's molded. And we got a polycap ball joint for that. Just started Pat Labor, it's been fun. Yeah, all these series like Pat Labor, Votoms, Stugram, etc. Full Metal Panic as well. I mean, never seen the anime for any of those. It'd be nice to at some point. Just so at least I have that frame of reference. Alright, and then this is facing back. And I really, really, really wish that Kotobukiya would make a Gecko kit as well for Metal Gear Solid 4. And then on top of that, model kits of the B&B core would be awesome. But yeah, kind of doesn't seem like we're probably ever gonna get any more at least any more Metal Gear kits from Kotobukiya. Probably not of like anything Metal Gear. I mean, who knows? But it doesn't seem too likely. The only little bit of pre-painting we have on this is for the eyes, just like with the Rex. The eyes have you can see that little reflective metallic light blue right there. Let's see. This clear part, this shiny part there on the head is actually like a clear black. It's very difficult to notice that it's in any way clear, but it is slightly. These parts kind of fit. Right there at the front. As much as I love Metal Gear Solid 5, the Sahelanthropus bipedal mode looks a little strange. Yeah, I agree, Jonathan. Yeah, it's funky. I don't know, but I have both the regular version and the black version of the Sahelanthropus. So, like, ultimately, ideally for me, I would like to have like one displayed in each form. That's what I would like to do with mine. But yeah, I mean the just kind of regular form, I guess. What would you call it anyway? What would you call that? I don't even know. The form that looks more like the Rex. It's not quadruped because both forms are bipedal in that it walks on two legs, but it's not walking upright, right? That form. Interesting. You also have some options for the head. There's like one option with like the fins sticking out the side of the face, basically, kind of thing. Okay, we got that, and then close that up. Okay. Uh-oh. That's right. Ooh. That and that. Does it have a pilot? No. Yes. Sorry. Here are the figures. There's just a like standing snake, standing liquid ocelot, and like 2, 3 see, they're not PMCs. They're the frogs. 3 frog soldiers. Chin, and quite the chin indeed. Yeah, so there's options here for the head as well to make it as the manned and unmanned versions. Also, it's got a different part here, like for the front. There's no pilot inside. There's no way to build that. This is right? There we go. Couldn't get that on there. So the top of the head, let me zoom in for you guys to show you the difference here. So the manned or the unmanned versions, you see it's a little bit different. Unmanned version has no eye, and the clear black parts at the front are a little bit different. You can see the versions there for that. So that's kind of cool, that option there. I want to plug this onto the body. Let me make sure that there's nothing else in between that would be in the way. I don't think so. Nope, that's it. Okay. Oh, still zoomed in. Right. Sorry about that. There we go. So here's our very well endowed chin and body. Yes, indeed. All right. Those are the servant figures. Yeah. This thing was autonomous though, right? So yeah, it's a cool thing that model kit these days aren't plain like they used to be. Also, is the Strike Dagger a good P Bandai kit? I couldn't say. I haven't built it. Oh, I got the arms up next. I thought we were going to be doing the legs. The Strike Dagger. Let's see. The Strike Dagger is based off of. What is that? Is that an HGK? Would that be based off of the HD Revive Strike then? I'm kind of confused. I don't recall the details of that kit or the release, so I'm not sure. Sorry. All right. The arm parts are probably the most simplest part of the construction. At least that's how it looks so far. Certainly have not as many pieces. Let's see, PCI. It's that one. These go on here. Rex legs are peak Metal Gear legs. Remind me of that RoboCop Ed robot. They're certainly really cool legs. That's what I like about it's somewhat in the Ray, but then even more so with the geckos. Why I think it would be really cool to have a model kit of the geckos is that sort of like the organic aspects of the design there's like a good mix of like the blocky robot aspects, like the part of the gecko's like the head and torso, which looks very similar to like the Metal Gear Rex, and then the kind of more organic aspects of the design, like in the legs or whatever. It's always kind of interesting. All right, so we bend that down carefully, and then this part goes on here to close that up. All right. Then this big part here. Oh. What? Oh. We're supposed to put these on first. But that's okay. Do you prefer humanoid legs on mecha or tank wheels? Yeah, usually like humanoid legs or like the Metal Gear kind of legs like that. Tank treads, not so much. I mean, they work on like certain designs, but I don't know, generally just given the choice between the two. The mecha legs is what I would prefer. Interesting. That's its own little separate part. You could paint that little part of the design. Very nice little teeny tiny detail there. All right, so we got these going in here first. And I believe basically everything here for the arms is ×2, so I'm just building the one, but then we can go back and do the other one real quick because it should be pretty straightforward. And can then attach this on here. Oh, very cool. I like that. Who else is amped for Metal Gear Solid Delta? I kind of only really vaguely heard a little bit about that. I don't really know. So I wouldn't say that I'm amped. Just because, number one, no Kojima. Number two, don't really know anything about it. Let's see, is that correct? Okay, that is right. It's pretty cool. That part goes like that. Oh, and actually that's meant to go on there third after putting these other pieces on, but I think it'll be all right. Put these parts in here like that. Uh-oh, missed something here too. There we go. That, and then that one like that. All right. There's our one arm. Pretty cool. I like it. Really, really nicely detailed. Looking forward to those Armored Core stuff. Yeah, Jonathan, there's those new Armored Core. So far, we just have the announcement of the reprints. Hopefully, they will also announce the new kits, whatever they're going to be, new kit or kits. I don't know. Hopefully soon. Eric, what's up with the new warehouse? Well, not a whole lot. anytime there's anybody there working on the new warehouse, it's like 1 or 2 guys. So it's been pretty slow progress. And then also, lately has been really rainy. So I think that's also probably been pulling them up a little bit as well. Unfortunately, which I mean, even now, this is only my 2nd year in Florida at this point, and even I know that June is really rainy, so they should have been, you know, hurrying it along a little bit and trying to get it done before it started getting really rainy, or at least get like the slab poured, to get the concrete poured before it started getting really rainy. But it's slow progress over there, which yeah, is very unfortunate. I wish that I could say that the new warehouse was done or even close to being done, but at this point they have like the slab all marked off, and I believe like at least a good amount of the underground work is done. The wires and stuff are laid, but I'm not even sure about that. So yeah, I don't know. Is White Glint already have a kit? Yeah, the White Glint already had a release, and also has another version which has that big like boost backpack as well. That one, as far as we know at the moment, is not getting reprinted, but I have a feeling that they're probably going to reprint that one as well. It's just that this is the first round of reprints that Kotobukiya is doing, and then probably again, I don't have any inside information on this or anything, so you know, this is just my speculation, but I have a feeling that they're probably going to do another round of reprints for those, and that's probably going to include maybe the White Glint version with the backpack. So I don't know though. So like, if you want to get the White Glint and you're wondering if you should hold out for the version with the big backpack, I mean, it could be coming or it could not be. So I don't know. If you wait and don't get it now, then you might be without any White Glint. So I don't know. It's a tough call to make. Could wait and then just hope that stores don't sell out of the regular one, so that, you know, if the announcement doesn't come, then, you know, just pick up the regular one. But yeah, I don't know. At least what's been scheduled so far to be reprinted is not anything that, you know, really gets me too excited. So I didn't see anything that I'm planning on reviewing so far. If any of you guys were curious about that, about what I might be taking a look at in future reviews. The Armor Core designs mostly just don't really do it so much for me. The proportions and the busyness of the designs and all that. I've taken a look at a couple of Armor Core kits, enough to give me an idea of, you know, kind of what to expect from them kit wise, but unless there's another design that like really speaks to me, probably won't build another one anytime soon. But we'll see, maybe one of the new ones, or the new one. I don't know. I keep talking about it like they're going to be coming out with more than one, but so far, I mean, all we know is that they have one in planning. Dude, this part, I have a feeling you're probably going to want to glue. It's going to come off kind of easily. But there's our upper body all done. I'd get it, a Wholesome Care said, I'd get it even without the VOB. The VOB being that backpack I was referring to. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. I know it has been a pretty sought after one. a couple of really big parts and a lot of really little parts here for the legs. So I'm gonna kind of put the larger parts to the side so that I cannot lose any of these little tiny pieces here. We also have option parts for the feet. I was mentioning before this kit not having too much in the way of option parts, but it does have option feet, which are like just at a slightly different angle, basically. All right. PC G and D, which look very similar, so I'm going to be careful not to mix these up. I almost kind of wonder if they're basically exactly the same and just lettered differently. I was noticing that while working on what kit was it recently, building I don't know, it was a Max Factory kit or something, a Plamax kit, and it's one of those things that we kind of take for granted. Let's see, that's that, right? Yeah. When it comes to Bandai kits, like if there's two parts that are the exact same part, Bandai will number them both the exact same. So you might have, on like your A runner, you'll have two parts that are both number 18 because it's like the part like for the arm or whatever, and on both arms it's exactly the same part. But then on like sometimes Kotobukiya does this as well, and I think Max Factory definitely does this. They'll have the parts numbered differently, even though it's the exact same part. But for whatever reason, they'll have like one is number 18 and then one is number 19. So it kind of makes you think like, I need to be careful not to get them mixed up. But actually, they're the exact same part. So even if you mix them up, it really wouldn't matter at all. It's one of those things, those little things, kind of helps to make Bandai's kits so incredibly foolproof. There's no way that you could mess it up, even if you try. Or I guess this helps with. Why is this not wanting to go in there? I'm nervous about breaking this part. Here we go. It's tight getting it through that polycap there. Right. I was gonna say, hopefully everything's all right with that. Not any issue. Okay. Next up here. Isaac, I'm going to build the MG new Verka. Would like to get your opinion about the fin funnel. Should I glue or screw so it doesn't keep falling? Paulo, yeah, I mean, it's totally up to you. If you don't plan on ever like changing the display of the fin funnels, like you just want to be able to build it and put it up on your shelf and leave it there and not have anything fall off, then yeah, maybe glue them. You probably don't need to screw anything, but just gluing them on there should be fine. If you really wanted to be really sure about it, I guess one thing you could do is to put in some like rods, like brass, like actual like brass rods in there. It'd be even stronger than just gluing it, but kind of unnecessary, I feel like. All right, so this is the part here where we've got a whole bunch of little pieces attached on here. So we're gonna put this on here. Oh no! Supposed to be a part in between there. Didn't notice. Oof. The creak of that plastic, eh? This teeny little part inside of here. So that when we close that up, you get that little tiny little yellow circle bit there. All right, and as for this side, really don't have too much of an idea. Oh, so these are made in a particular way. All right, that's good. So for these little circle bits, they're made in a way so that, let's see, that's a plain circle there. The connections are unique. Again, kind of making it foolproof so that even if you tried to put it in the wrong spot, it won't fit. Just make sure I've got all the right ones here. Okay. That's one. Every one of these that I managed to get in, I'm gonna like give a big sigh of relief because that means I got it in the right spot and didn't drop it and have to find it on the floor. So I'm gonna count it as a little mini success, each one of these. And then we've got there you go. Awesome. Okay. So we got those. We can slide our foot in like that. And then what? Polycap. I was going to say, hey, Zach, how I build Gunpla kit helped me a lot. Building kits quick while also painting them. Good, yeah. Hoping this year is a little more Gunpla heavy for Bandai. This year really seemed like an experimental year for other lines. Yeah, even experimental with the Gunpla too. We had the only the second release so far in the MGEX line. We had the start of the MGSD line. We already have the second one on the way for that as well. Longtime follower, great to see a live build finally. Ultimo Venom said there on Twitch. Hey, how's it going over there on Twitch, by the way? Okay, another one of these polycaps. Like polycap D, G, and K are all like very, very slightly different, especially G and D. I mean, if they're different at all, it's very not noticeable. So that's why when I cut all the parts out like this, for pretty much any kit that I build these days, I build it in this way where I'll cut all the parts and separate everything into different sections. Polycaps is one thing that I don't do that for, and part of the reason is just because more so than other parts of the kit, polycaps can be very easily confused because there's often ones that look very similar, but they're only like very slightly different. It's getting less and less the case, I guess, with more modern kits that are just using polycaps less. Like on a lot of the recent HG kits are all using like the same set of polycaps, which are all very familiar now at this point. Where's that? Oof. Very nice. You love to hear that click. So this is the top of the leg. It's gonna fit into there like that, and I've got a number of pieces left over here, which makes me a bit concerned. I think those are actually because that's for the hip section over here. The way that it has you build it in the manual is building the 2 legs and the hip section kind of all at once. So that's why I have these parts out here already. Here and here. And this. Oh. Kind of dangerous. I'm a little bit worried that that's going to fly across the room. But let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. Put those parts together there. All right. And then backtrack. This is all ×2 here for the legs. Kotobukiya still use a lot of polycaps still. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it depends on the kit. I mean, Bandai too, does a lot, also kind of just depending on the kit, right? On the current, like, line of HG kits, on the Witch from Mercury kits in particular, which is kind of like their main focus at the moment, those are all without polycaps, which is nice, but I mean, other kits still use them, so I mean. Right. Okay. The foot. The actual piece for the bottom of the foot is slightly different as well, so I had to kind of make sure that I had the right pieces and everything for that too. All right, PCG at the top, which will be here. And PCD at the bottom. There. Pop this on. This one here. This one here. Lots of clicking. Their peg clearance are very small. I mean, one of the things that I think is really nice about Kotobukiya models is that even where they have seam lines, the fit is usually the fit is so tight that once the parts are pressed together firmly, like the seam line is really hard to see. So, I mean, got to give it up to Kotobukiya a little bit for that. They generally have more seam lines than Bandai model kits do, but they're also less noticeable. In many cases, certainly not all cases. I mean, there's definitely examples where you can most definitely see the seam lines. Not necessarily from a mile away, but from a good distance away. In all fairness, but... don't remember what polycap goes in there. I think it was K. Yeah. this part. So have you guys watched the new season of Black Mirror yet? Anybody? My wife and I enjoyed that series. We watched it about a year ago, and now that the new season is out, we started watching it. We've only watched the first 2 episodes of the new season, but it's pretty good so far. At least within like the first 2 episodes, there's less of like futuristic science fiction kind of stuff, which is kind of what I'm more interested in. I guess in like the first episode, it kind of deals with like AI and like copyright. That's one thing that, I mean, like the series, like the entire series is all like social commentary on technology, right? But yeah, the first episode of the new series being all about AI and identity and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting. The second episode was pretty wild. I did not know which way that was going to go. Like, a lot of times, like on stuff like that, like while watching it, my wife and I will like kind of lean over to each other and like make predictions, like, oh, I think that he's gonna do this, or this is gonna happen, something like that. Or like halfway through, or even like 3/4 of the way through that second episode, I just like turned to my wife and I was like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I know that something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like a dramatic twist, but I have no idea what it's gonna be. And it was certainly pretty shocking. I felt like that episode was, one thing that I didn't really like about it is that while it was like somewhat, not to like spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it because it was kind of so shocking, but without spoiling anything, it was like partially like the social commentary aspect of it was about like kind of like number one, like fascination with like the real crime dramas, and then also what was it? I don't know what I was gonna say. I lost my train of thought there. But anyway, I kind of didn't like how it ended up being basically just like an episode for people who are, you know, super into like real crime. Is that what's it called? Real crime, right? Anyway, that whole kind of like trend where it's like the episode seems like it's meant to be like a commentary about that, but ends up just kind of just being that, except it's not an actual real crime since it's just a fictional story. But does that make sense? With that, other leg is done and looking very cool, I must say. True crime, that's what it is, yeah. I mean, I've certainly seen my fair share of different like true crime. There's that one Netflix series, or what is it, Unsolved Mysteries or whatever. Like, I've watched some of that, and I've watched like some YouTube videos and like some true crime shows, whatever, on YouTube. So I get it. But yeah, there are people that are like really into it, and like some of those channels, and then people that do like do their own research and like deep dive into stuff like and I mean, I guess to those people's credit who do that, I mean, some people have been able to like actually solve or like, you know, find new evidence in like cold cases, which leads to those like cold cases actually getting solved. So I mean, like, some people are actually doing some worthwhile work with that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's people that just like really into that stuff. Yeah, like I said, I get it. I get the curiosity. All right. Very Scary People on HLN is really good. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what HLN is. Sorry. What's HLN? And this part here. It's our little cap piece there. This little piece here. So a guy here, and this for a little stubby little tail. Stranger Things peaked first and second season. I've not watched Stranger Things yet. I want to though. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time. Jazz said, "I've never actually seen Black Mirror. I should pick it up though. Netflix forcing Henry Cavill out of The Witcher ended that show." I've never been into The Witcher, so that's not something that I've ever been interested in at all. Some of my friends treat Black Mirror like it's the new Stranger Things, which both haven't watched yet. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Stranger Things. I would like to watch it at some point. I want to. I think my wife doesn't really want to watch that just because it's longer. She doesn't like to have to commit to watching like a series which is that long. So I'll probably have to just watch that on my own. And it'll probably be something that I'll like watch by like having it on in the background while building stuff, kind of thing. Like that's what I did for the 100. I know it's like not a very good comparison between the two, because everything that I've heard about Stranger Things is like all like pretty good. Like, I mean, it's a pretty like high, like well-made, critically acclaimed series, while the 100 is just like it's like WB. Is it WB? I think it is, or CW series with like some terrible acting in it. But I liked it well enough. It was interesting. I thought the acting, especially in the first season, the acting did get like slightly better throughout. But like the series was interesting enough, like the premise, the story was interesting enough that I kept watching it even through like the bad acting. But I enjoyed it well enough. It was cool. But I mostly watched that by like half watching it, by just like having it on in the background while I'm working on building stuff. So D'Angelo, thank you for the super chat there. I really appreciate that. Is the Netflix Gundam live action still a thing? Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine on that, buddy. I have no idea. There's the main kit is done now. The last couple of bits here are mostly for like option parts and for the transform, like the parts forming you have to do like for the heads. Let me just check this out here real quick. Build what there is to build of this so far. Just see here. Very chicken legs. Yes, chicken legs indeed. Chickens evolved from T-Rexes. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it is really cool, I gotta say. I mean, it's not gonna do a whole lot, you know. It doesn't come with a whole lot like extra other than just the kit. I mean, this is pretty much, bloop, that's basically what you got, but it is really cool looking, I gotta say. Let me just build these other couple little sections here. So like these, for example, are just swappable parts there. These are also just option parts for the face. These are alternate feet parts. These are for here. For the base. So like there's these little balls right there, little ball joints here on the base parts that there's holes in the feet that plug into there. To help give it something to attach onto and balance to be able to stand there like that. So that actually works quite well. It'd be kind of hard to show you guys, but you can see it just kind of stands on there like that. I kind of wish instead of, I mean, like this, these like clear hex parts are kind of cool. Would have been nice if they were maybe just like, kind of like the Metal Gear Rex's base plate, which is just like this big square kind of like hanger base kind of looking little plate, which I actually, it's the same one for the Rex and the Sahelanthropus, which to be honest I actually kind of dislike just because of how plain it is, but I think it does kind of make sense for the kit. It probably would have made sense for this one as well, so excuse me. Just get our spare feet put together here. We're basically done. Let's see, the stubby arms have been my favorite. I like this machine, yeah. Basically, the director wants that MS movie to have a palpable, beginner-friendly story. I mean, yeah, they should do... Oh, wait. If it's live action, make it more grounded, literally. I mean, 8th MS team would be kind of cool. Let me see that. Just kind of, I'll come back to that here. That transparent green does some holographic effect. Yeah, the wholesome carrot, that kind of holographic effect that you're seeing on the base is just reflection of my LED lights up there on the ceiling. So, I mean, it's just like a clear light blue. It doesn't really have any kind of like extra added effect on it. You're just seeing a reflection basically there. But as far as, I mean, 8th MS team, I mean, yeah, because whatever the case is, anyway, for the movie, they have to make it beginner friendly, as in, like, it has to be watchable for people who have no background knowledge about Gundam at all. So, like, people going into it who have never seen anything Gundam related, they have no idea what a Gundam is. So, the 8th MS team as a series, I feel like a lot of the reason the 8th MS team is so interesting for us Gundam fans is because it's a new environment to see the Gundams in, like the original series, Zeta, Double Zeta, and like kind of most everything before that mostly took place in space. And so like the ground Gundam and like all the combat, majority of the combat in 8th MS team was so interesting and so unique. I mean, because it is really well done in the anime. But I mean, it was especially interesting too because it was just a new environment for the Gundam. For people who are brand new fans, or like first time viewers of anything Gundam related at all, seeing a Gundam on the ground, you know, doesn't have that added not appeal, but it doesn't have that added factor of being like, oh wow, here's these, you know, mobile suits, these Gundams that I'm used to seeing, you know, flying around in space and doing all this crazy stuff, and now they're basically just like these big walking tanks on the ground. So people won't have that. But I mean, as far as like people who are completely unfamiliar with Gundam, coming into the series, I think 8th MS Team could work because yeah, they just have it's just what's the background they need to explain. There's this war going on, and it would be very sort of similar to like Pacific Rim. They basically kind of do like a little montage at the beginning to kind of get you up to speed on like what's happening with the story. There's this war that's going on. They do a little bit of what's it called? I'm just like, it's Friday afternoon. Give me a break. Where there's just someone explaining the story, right? I forget the word for that suddenly off the top of my head, but it's not dialogue or voiceover, but yeah, where it's a voiced over dialogue which is explaining the stories. I don't know. I can't think of the word. No, not recap. Not recap. Anyway, that's all they really need is just like an introduction to basically, in some way, however they decide to do it, explain that there's this war going on, and then they just kind of get into the story exposition. Thank you, comical nerd. Yeah, exposition is what I was talking about. And Jeff too. Thank you guys. Oh, and somebody else said it before that too, right? Ian. Okay, so yeah, some exposition at the start in some way, just to kind of set the basis for the story, and then kind of get into the ground Gundam. Maybe have like an opening scene of like the RX-782 in space, and then it then kind of does like the Star Wars transition, like at the beginning, kind of like always pans down, like then like pan down to the ground, and then I don't know, it could even kind of like at certain times make reference. Like the main story is like focused on characters on the ground and the ground Gundam, and then kind of occasionally it will like reference stuff that's happening, and it'll show like a kind of part of a scene of like what's happening with the RX-782, like in space, something like that, where it's not the focus of the story, but like it's there and you kind of see it in a couple scenes here and there without it being too much of like a jarring transition. Like, now let's check in on what's happening in space and then go there. But I think it could be done in a kind of interesting way where like the RX-782 and the 1 Year War that's happening in space is still kind of there, present in the movie, but the focus is on what's happening on the ground. Yeah, it could be done. Anyway. If anything, probably a little bit easier for a movie format just because of 8th MS Team. And I don't know how, if they want to make it like really close to the anime, like following the story of the anime, because it's a much shorter and more focused story, being only 12 episodes, right? Whereas like if they were trying to fit like the entirety of the story of the original series, so what, 46 episodes, something like that, into a movie. I mean, obviously they can't fit all that into a movie. They'd have to cut certain aspects of it, and there's certainly parts of the original series that could be cut for like adapting that to a movie format. But it'd probably be easier and a better fit for just like a 2-hour movie, the story of 8th MS Team. Gotta have an RX-782 cameo. The cameo will get its own kit. I mean, yeah, of course. Are we writing the greatest live action movie? Maybe just show the RX crash at the beginning with no explanation, and then a call flashback. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So what you're saying is wait and watch the Netflix series. Yeah. Hello. I think they should do it like Battlestar Galactica. I've actually not seen that either, sorry to say. Hello. All right, guys. Anyway, we're done. So I have some more editing here. I'm going to wrap up before the day is done. For now, guys, thanks so much for coming and hanging out, taking a look at this Metal Gear Ray. I'm impressed with it. It's very cool, definitely. I really like it. Of course, it's certainly going to look a lot better, like painted, or at the very least with like some panel lining and everything, just to bring out all those nice details on it. But very nice for the collection if you're a Metal Gear fan. gotta say. So, and because it's recently just been reprinted, now it's actually around and easily available. So check it out. I will have the review for you guys next week. As far as live builds next week, I'm not sure at the moment what it might be, but possibly maybe a Gundam kit. We'll see. Maybe a P Bandai Gundam kit. I'll let you guys know. Anyway, have a great weekend. And yeah, the 4th, I won't be working on that day. So hopefully you guys will be doing something fun as well if you're in America, or even if you're not in America and don't celebrate the 4th of July. Hope you have a good day on that day anyway. Have fun. And have a great weekend anyway. For the time being, I'll see you guys next week. Have fun. Bye-bye.